came here and make the shit froze. I'm really who the pen chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her who got a better flow. She can hang it up just like a telephone. Stick me up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Hands out here, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new in the machine out. Jewelry be caught like the temperature zero. I'm the boys, they call me the hero. Heavily, then they know what I be on. I'm the best, I'm the best. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I go up, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I go up, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylists go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blue, strips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm still with ya, I just got rich a little quicker. The same man, God handed me his game plan. I ain't perfect, far from it, what can I say, man? I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet. From South Carolina to Maryland, I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume. I still got a lot to prove, but still I'm heavyweight. I still gotta watch my moves. They tried to defamate my character, but I won't let them. It's always checkmate. I'm still screaming, the world hope she. Mother Nature's my first shorty, watch how I go ballistic and I'm so terrific. Accounts is copacetic, I don't need no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out, now it's just that Fridays was serving the greens. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting the rings. I done spoke too much, close curtain and scene.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a play fake. Rodgers going deep for Hopkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 37 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. That's complete once again to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. The Lions Lions at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
And in for the Lions, touchdown. Jameson Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Gain is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 of the 24. Going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play action. Now Carr. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Tries the left side and finds Olave. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, this defense for the Lions, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kamara. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive, it comes right back, and
He's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought,
he's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Detroit.
Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Taken from about the 12. And he returns this to the 22.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
and you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. Rodgers going to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. On first down, Gibbs, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Gain is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. 21-0 our score after 1. Gay now set to kick it off. Taken from about the 12. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
The Carr's throw complete there to Perry. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Carr going to try and throw on third down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And attempted a deep ball there, they didn't get it. But boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they are winners of 2 straight games as they have climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know that this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes, because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season that could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And he's taken down here by the Saints. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carping them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. The slot man in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So it throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Carr. And that's caught inside the 35. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Flush to his right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, 30 yards. And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Saints 7. Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. A long way to go. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They run the counter. It's Gibbs, and only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the slot man goes in motion left. On 3rd down, Gibbs. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr, he's going to go up top again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And that is incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. On 1st down, Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints will take over possession here up at the 44. And Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to air one out. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. To throw, it's Carr. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late. They're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
The final shot here before half for Carr. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Taken from about the 12. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Carr. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
In man coverage, your #1 cardinal rule, don't get beat deep. And that's why the comeback route is so effective, because that's how they're selling it, Brandon. Taking you all the way upfield before breaking it back down.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Looking deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
Play action. Now it's Carr.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be
second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Rodgers. He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Rodgers now on first down.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, it's Gibbs, and he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. To throw is Rodgers.
Oh, what a catch by Hopkins.
Touchdown! DeAndre Hopkins, 33 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do.
And this is caught. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. Now they send a man in motion right. Kamara will score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Their own 13-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 15-yard line.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. He's got a man complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That's good for the Lions. First down. First and 10 at the 40.
They'll run on first down. Gibbs. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 12 more yards there and another first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
On play action, Rodgers. And quickly, he just gets that ball out of there. Not quite sure what he was doing, and here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, he picked it in the end zone. They're glad he brought it out all the way across midfield into enemy territory.
And don't think for a second that some teammates didn't tell him to stay in the end zone, right? What he did there, to me, was the equivalent of baseball running through the third base coach's signal to stop at third. And
Only good if you're safe.
And he ended up, to me, this counts as safe. That's a great return.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Carr to throw. And this one is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what does this one do? Advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, well, they've got 95% chance of winning.
Oh, yeah, I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibbs. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in the running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On second down now, it's Gibbs, and he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Williams, the man in motion left. On play action, now Rodgers. Rolling to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He's going to field this at the 4. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Williams, a man in motion right. Rodgers looking to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
After what they've faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
On 2nd down, it's Gibbs, and he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
That's a gain of 3.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And it's incomplete. We're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Detroit, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.